recently bought, and 2 books which have been on my shelf for a really long time that I wanted to show you. So I haven't read any of these, but I wanted to do some book triggers because it's my favourite kind of ASMR to watch, and I love it. So I hope you do too, and I'm just gonna jump right in with the first book. So this is one that I bought. What day is it now? It's Thursday. I bought this almost a week ago. And it is the oh wait, berry pickers, the berry pickers by Amanda Peters. It says, one family's deepest pain, another's darkest secret. Who will they be when the truth comes out? I'm pretty sure I saw this on Goodreads. It was like on my homepage, recommended for me. It's not very long, it's quite small, I think. Let's see. How many pages? It's like just under 300. So not many at all. Berry pickers. I'm gonna read the back to you. I did show this in my last video. I included some clips of when I went book shopping with my son, and this was the book that I bought, and I've still not read it. But I will read it. It smells really nice. I've been reading a lot on my Kindle, but I love physical books so much. I can't resist buying new books. Okay, so let's see. It says, on a hot day in 1960s Maine, 6-year-old Joe watches his little sister Ruthie sitting on her favourite rock at the edge of the blueberry fields while their family, okay, this word escapism. I love it so much. But I think I just struggle to picture the world that they're in. I think it's just maybe part of getting older. Maybe it's just me. But when I was a child, I could vividly see like fantasy books in my head. And I just can't now. So I'm wanting to change that. So I thought I would try this one. Let me know if you've read it. I'm sure lots of you have. But for those of you who don't know what it's about, I'll read the back. So, friends, enemies, lovers, everyone has an agenda. Violet Sorrengale expected to live a quiet life surrounded by books until she was forced onto the world's deadliest training ground. Now she must fight to join the army's elite dragon riders. But dragons don't choose fragile riders. They incinerate them, and when your body breaks as easily as Violet's does, death is only a heartbeat away. Every night could be your last. Many would kill Violet to better their own chances of success. The rest would kill her simply because of her last name, including the ruthless Xaden Rearson. Is that how you say it? Her family's greatest enemy. With the odds stacked against her, Violet must use every edge her wits can give her just to see the next sunrise, because once you enter Basquiat War College, there are only two ways out: graduate or die. It sounds so good. I think there was a review. Yeah, it says pure escapism. Think Hunger Games meets 50 Shades. I mean, that sold it to me, I'm not gonna lie. The Hunger Games is unreal. 50 Shades, not so much. But I get what they're saying. And I like the sound of it. It's quite a hefty book. highs and lows of teenage life and keeping secrets of her own. All families have their problems, and most of them get resolved. But Grace's problem is 30 years old, and she doesn't have time on her side. So is it too late for her to make peace, or is reconciliation still within reach? I think I just really like stories with a lot of heart. They're like family driven, a little bit of drama, a little bit of mystery, but overall moving. I do love thrillers, and having said that, but I love so many different types of stories. My favourite kind of movie? It's a difficult question, but I love a drama. I always have. And anything that can move me. So to find that within a book, I think is more difficult. But it's wonderful when you find a book that can bring you to tears, where you really know the characters, and you care deeply about them. I feel like this would be one of those. Now I know so many of you are going to judge me for not having read this yet, and I'm mad at myself, so don't. But I think I mentioned this book in a previous video, and someone commented giving me another recommendation based on this book, and I loved the sound of that book, and I cannot remember what it was called, but it sounded really good. But this one is where the Crawdads sing by Delia Owens. Now I'm pretty sure I bought this when it first came out. I might have seen Reese Witherspoon feature it in our book club, which prompted me to buy it, which was years and years and years ago. I just haven't read it, and I know so many people love this book, and it was made into a movie with Daisy Edgar Jones and Harris Dickinson, who I love as well. But I have no idea what happens. Oh yeah, Reese Witherspoon. I can't even express how much I love this book. I don't want this story to end. I know there's lots of beautiful descriptions of nature and things amongst a coming of age mystery story. It sounds lovely. It feels like a summer book. I feel like it needs to be hot when I read this. say, sensitive and intelligent, she has survived for years alone in the marsh that she calls home, finding friends in the gulls and lessons in the sand. Then the time comes when she yearns to be touched, loved, when two young men from town become intrigued by her wild beauty. Kaya opens herself to a new life, until the unthinkable happens. Where the Crawdads sing is at once an exquisite ode to the natural world, a heartbreaking coming-of-age story, and a surprising tale of possible murder. Owens reminds us that we are forever shaped by the children we once were, and that we are all subject to the beautiful and violent secrets that nature keeps. It sounds fantastic, and I really want to read it, and I think I'm going to read it this summer. I promise. Okay, so that's all the books that I'm going to show today. I just love book ASMR so much. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Please comment what books you're reading